Hey, this is Jason. Today we're going to talk about how can we create powerful Facebook advertising strategy for an online lingerie store using conversion to profit method. So let's take a look at the industry first. Basically, what we're looking at is an online lingerie store. So similar to other businesses such as slimming product, beauty product, pharmaceutical products, etc. These falls under restricted categories on Facebook advertising. Doesn't mean that you can't advertise on Facebook, you can, but there are certain restrictions or certain rules that you need to apply. For example, if you're doing a slimming product, you are not allowed to do before and after comparison visuals for your advertisement. Also, you are not allowed to use promising sentences or kind of like the after effect that you promise in your copywriting, because those are restricted areas. Those are the things that you can't do. Now, when it comes back to the online lingerie store, now, we're not being sexist here. This is one of the industry. The problem that we are facing here is that we are not allowed to use revealing photo shoots. We might get reported from time to time. So what we're doing here is, basically in this kind of Facebook advertising strategy sharing, what we do is we will actually go on the surface and discuss based on the information that we receive from you. So if you want us to discuss your industry or your business in our future videos, feel free to drop me a message. I will do my best to cover. So basically for this case, we have broken our Facebook advertising campaign into a 3 to 4 tier campaign. So in my opinion, any advertising is actually number game, similar to Facebook advertising. So based on statistics or based on previous data, if you need to touch 1,000 people to get one closure, then you have to touch as many people as you can to get as many closure that you want when it comes to your own statistics. So that's your funnel. For this case, and in any case, what we're going to do is we are going to create tier 1 advertisement that goes out to really capture people's intention and interest to come in. Now, when it comes to tier 1 advertisement, there are many ways of doing this. I'm not actually saying that you gotta do this way, but I'm just giving some suggestions here. So, of course, you can do product advertisement to tell people about your promotion. Instead of going out individual product, you use one general image to tell people about your promotion. So that case, you're using kind of like a promotion to bait people to come in. So that is actually capturing certain interest or intention. On the other hand, you can also consider doing a series of articles that talks about things like for example, how do you keep your partner excited in bed? So inside you can actually feature your products. Nonetheless, when they are reading an article, they have been actually landed on your website already, which you can actually use the pixel to start retargeting them. So basically, we are actually capturing intent and interest. So intent could be those people who are interested on your article or your promotion. And then there could be also people who are looking for gift idea for their wife and spouse or partner. So basically you should appear on Google as well. This could be Google. So the interest could be people who are interested in gift, people who have partners birthday coming out soon, etc. So this you can actually use Facebook advertising to capture. So once you have actually gathered people in, the next step is you want to bring people to a destination. That's the first set of action that you will get. So that is also a qualifying action, because look, if you read an article, you're qualified as certain somehow more medium range kind of intended audience because you only read the article. But if you have viewed the product, that you become a more serious audience for you. So you should break these two audiences, and then you should run, either you want to run a similar tier 2 ad or you want to break two different advertisements. It's entirely up to you. But what I'm actually suggesting here is for those who have viewed your product, for example, what you can do at your tier 2 advertisement, you can actually use catalog sales objective. Now, catalog sales objective is an objective that you can do something like, for example, you go to Lazada, you see one product and you don't buy. The next thing that you see is this product and their friends follow you everywhere you go. In order to set up catalog sales, there are multiple ways. Now, if you do not, first you definitely need to have Pixel installed on your website, and then you need to set up the Pixel events, etc. That might be technical if your website don't support, but if you're using services like Shopify and SiteGiant, everything is taken care of, and it's a lot easier for you to extract the catalog, to be imported onto Facebook to run your advertisement. Now, a pro tip here when it comes to this. So what I'm suggesting here is, look, those people who have seen your article or your product ad, they have landed on your product view, they already know that you're selling this. So it's actually not that important to show product shoot with a model. So what you can consider doing in your catalog sales is you only feature the item, the product itself, without the shooting, because with that, you wouldn't have any issue of being revealing or whatsoever. So that advertisement, another pro tip would be, is supposed to follow them for a period of time. Now, it's really important for you to understand the conversion window for your product. Now, for example, I always like to use hotel as example. You see, when you are looking for hotel, for most Malaysians cases, you know that you are really traveling on that date already, because usually we buy flight ticket first before hotel. So if you are running a hotel business, you should actually understand that people will make decision within 2 to 3 days. But if you are running a campaign, which is a tier 2 advertisement, that retarget them for maybe 30 days, then you are actually causing your budget waste. Why? Because those people who have made decision earlier, they might be still seeing advertisement, but it doesn't really bring you much benefit. You must know when to stop. That's really important thing that a lot of advertisers might miss. So that's your tier 2 advertisement. That is actually to follow them for 7 days. Or you want to actually target them for the further action, which is either is added to cart, initiated checkout, and all that. So this group of people who have actually reached here, the next thing that you can do is you can actually run a tier 3 advertisement to them. It could be anything like a voucher code. You know, you could put up an image, just a single image, and say that, hey, you're here. Why not just I give you a code that you can buy right now at 10% discount. So this code actually is valid for only like 3 days. So it gives that kind of urgency or kind of like time sensitivity for people to take action and act, because yet again, always go back to your sales process, your conversion window. If you miss that conversion window, you have actually, like I said, it might cause budget waste, and that's what we want to avoid, you know, when we are using the conversion to profit method. So after that, the last but not least, when people who have gone through the whole process, this is the customer journey mapping already. And then when you go through all these journey, whether you buy or not, as you can see here, you have been touched. If you're an audience, you have been touched at least 3 times. Whether you don't buy or buy now, eventually you will remember this brand. So this already create an unparalleled branding effect for the brand at a very minimal amount, because as you can see here, 1,000 people who sees your product, maybe only 10 who viewed your certain product. So 10% who viewed your product is actually a very small audience. You can probably just spend maybe 3 to 4 ringgit, you know, kind of thing. You can already reach them multiple times every day. So imagine that kind of frequency that you can achieve. Okay, so the last thing that you want to look at is, look, the purchase people. I mean, this is one thing that I kind of observe a lot of, especially e-commerce businesses, do not pay much attention to. Look, I have gone through the whole process, okay, and I have learned about your brand, and I've kind of used your product before, and of course, I paid money to do all these things. So what are you doing to make me remember you? What are you doing to make me buy more from you? What are you doing to make me actually advocate for you? So you can consider doing a reminder ads from time to time. So you can actually run a tier 4 advertisement that targets those people who have bought from you maybe 90 days ago. I mean, up to 90 days. And then exclude those who have bought from you in the past 30 days. In this way, you're targeting those people who have bought from you at least 31 days and above, earlier, you know, up to 90 days. So in this case, you're actually reminding those who might have the intention and excluding those who have just bought from you, which in most cases, they won't buy again unless you're selling diapers, etc. And then the other thing that you can do is you can use EDM to keep reminding them about your product or services. And of course, if you have a referral program or you have loyalty program, this is where you can actually start building rapport and you know, building that kind of relationship with your customer to build a longer term business. So this is how we build a Facebook advertising strategy using a conversion to profit method. As you can see here, there are really 4 pillars that we are using here. Customer intention. Okay, then we have the customer journey mapping. The third thing is actually the connection building, and last but not least, your sales process. So this is actually a customer journey mapping, you know, and then the conversion window is your sales process, which you must know, you must find out for your business. And then as I mentioned just now, you have gone through 3 to 4 steps or advertisements. If you don't buy, you have already built a strong relationship or kind of like a top of mind brand positioning on your audiences. So that actually gives you a very strong branding effect, which even though those people who do not buy. And then also we discussed about, you know, you want to use your first tier of advertisement to capture intent, because that's really the thing that will decide whether a person is intended to buy. So if you want to work with us to apply this conversion to profit method to build powerful Facebook advertising strategy for your business. Now, we have done this with more than 100 campaigns in the past 2 to 3 years. In 2018 itself, this conversion to profit method has guided over 5 million in Facebook ad spend. we have generated hundreds of millions in revenue. It's really a proven strategy. So there are two ways to work with us. The first way is you can engage us, where we will come in to work with you on a 3 months contract. So what we do in these 3 months is we will work with your team and you, of course, to design the strategy. And then after that, we will go through several experiments and tests to stabilize the strategy. And then last but not least, we will help you optimize the strategy to find a better way to increase conversion at a lower cost. So this is one way, and then the other way around is if you want to learn how to do this. Now this conversion to profit method class is only open for 6 persons per session, and then we open occasionally every 2 to 3 months only. We open once. So in these 2 days, we will work with you from step 1 until creating a very complete Facebook ad strategy for your business. And basically, we will have another 3 months coaching in a very small closed group where you are free to ask any questions that you face, when you're setting up your campaign, or probably the optimization questions, etc. Anything you want to talk to us, any questions that you may have about, setting up a conversion to profit Facebook ad strategy for your business, talk to us. So remember to like or actually subscribe to this channel, because we're going to have more videos talking about Facebook advertising strategy development using conversion to profit method moving up. Thank you for watching. I look forward to see you soon.